With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. Premier the Honorable Alden McLaughlin is a beacon of positivity at Seafarers Hall in Red Bay today, where he tells Radio Cayman on nomination day he has the utmost confidence in his party.
This is the first step in the elections process, and we've got through that. We've now had all of the Progressives candidates nominated, those here and those in Cayman Brac. And I'm feeling very, very optimistic.
The Premier says the Progressives are fielding a team of 10, which he expects to increase as candidates who share similar interests may align with the Progressives over the course of the campaign. The Premier's only challenger in Red Bay, Sammy Jackson. The seat held by Georgetown Central MP Kenneth Bryan is being challenged by longtime Progressive supporter and political assistant to the Premier, Frank Cornwall.
I've decided to do this because I know it's the right thing to do, and it's what I feel, it's my passion and my desire to represent my people.
Why Georgetown Central?
Because Georgetown Central is my community that I was born, bred, raised, and I still live in that community. So it is where my heart is.
Mr. Cornwall says his experience with the Progressives has prepared him to provide effective leadership to the people of Georgetown Central. Incumbent Kenneth Bryan, meantime, walked from his constituency office on Eastern Avenue, accompanied by supporters to the nomination station at Elmsley Memorial Church Hall.
You know, the walk on the street was a symbolic thing for me. It means that, you know, I'm staying on the ground with the people at all times, as I see myself as a common man, fighting for the common man's issues, at the same time looking at all the bigger issues from a business perspective and the whole economy. But I know I'm grassroots.
As to learning that his former party, the Progressives, would be running a candidate against him, Mr. Bryan says he is taking it all in stride.
Wish them well. It's a noble thing to run for office, and hopefully we all have the same intent, which is to represent the people, to do great things for them. So I wish them well. I think I'm the better candidate. I think I have proven myself to have worked hard for the people of Georgetown Central and the Greater Cayman Islands. I look forward to serving them for another 4 years.
Finance Minister the Honorable Roy McTaggart says he was thrilled with how the nomination process went this morning. He says his track record shows why he should be considered the candidate of choice for Georgetown East.
Well, I think I've been an effective representative for the past 8 years. You know, I've engaged with a number of with my constituency throughout the 4 years. And I think I've gotten a few things done for them as well as broader issues and leading this country as Minister of Finance. I think I've done an effective job, a credible job of providing leadership. And I think that should qualify me for the people to re-elect me.
The Premier has indicated that should his party, the Progressives, win, Minister McTaggart is his choice to succeed him as Premier. Also running in Georgetown East, former Government Minister Dr. Frank McField, Richard Bernard, Emily DeCow, and Christina Rowlandson. In Georgetown South, it's Progressives candidate Barbara Conley and Alric Lindsay. Georgetown West MP David White will be facing off against Elio Solomon, Dr. Kenrick Webster, and Perlina McGaw-Lumsden on April 14th, and he heads into the election feeling positive about his chances of re-election.
I am a very honest and humble person, and I know that I would never, as the Premier always says, you may love Cayman as much as me, but you will never love Cayman more than I do. So I know that I would never be in a government that will do anything to harm Cayman or the Cayman people. We're really focusing on now is continuing to keep Cayman safe and continuing to make Cayman the envy of not only the region, but of the world.
Mr. White has served as a member of the Unity government for the last 4 years. The man who has served as the island's infrastructure minister for the past 4 years is nominated to run in the elections for a third time today. Joey Hugh took the opportunity this morning to point out how lucky Cayman is, thanks to what he describes as the swift and decisive action by his government in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The fact that we're in a position we are post-COVID pandemic, that we can actually have a free and open election, and that we are still very much a democratic country. It just feels good overall. You know, we're a very blessed country, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Mr. Hugh is running in Georgetown against Johan Moxham. In West Bay South, former Cayman Islands representative to the UK Andre Ebanks and Raul Nicholson Coe, a businessman and telecoms professional, will go head-to-head. Mr. Nicholson Coe spoke to Radio Cayman just after concluding the nomination process today.
It was actually exhilarating. You go in there and you feel like all of this work over the past several months is actually culminating into this, but I can't wait until April 14th, obviously, for the election to be finished and for me to be elected. But it's actually a fantastic feeling because the wide of range support, the people from different demographics, different age group, different gender, it's just an absolute amazing feeling.
Pamela Bawden-Small nominated the first-time candidate.
I kind of felt like back in the day that he would always run for politics, and I'm glad that he took that bold step. You know, we need young people in politics these days. We need new, fresh blood, and I think Raul has that. You know, he's very intelligent. He's a good person. He has a good heart, and he's always tried to help his community, and that's what we need these days. So I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud to nominate him.
Also running for the West Bay South seat, Andre Ebanks.
It was a very humbling experience to be nominated by friends, family, folks in the community who, some of which have known me since I was a little boy. It was a very humbling experience.
In West Bay West, Cayman's longest-serving political figure seeks a 10th term.
Today is always special for us. Tonight we're having our opening campaign meeting where we will discuss our manifesto. Myself and Captain Eugene are incumbents, and we are running with Ralston Anglin in West Bay North. We've always had keen support. We think we've accomplished a lot for the country. These are very precarious times for the Cayman Islands.
McKeeva Bush has served 9 terms, most recently as Speaker of the House for the Unity Government. Mario Ebanks will also be running for West Bay West. Radio Cayman caught up with him at the registering office at the West Bay Library.
This place at West Bay Town Hall is a place where I first attended my first day in school at the John Cumber Primary School. So it's a special place for me, and I was happy to be nominated by a young man, Nathaniel Kelly, who was my nominee for nomination, but because of a technicality with him not being on the consolidated revised list, the elections office administratively decided that he couldn't sign, so we had Mr. Troy Leacock, who was the number 2 person for my team, and then my wife, Lavinia Ebanks, also nominated. So we are all about change, positive change, working for the future.
Mr. Ebanks is running as an independent. In West Bay Central, Captain Eugene Ebanks will run again with Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes challenging him for the seat.
There really is a better way, one where everybody comes out on top. And I believe that the people are ready for change, and I'm excited to offer the country a better approach to good governance.
Former MLA Ralston Anglin will throw his hat back into the ring this 2021 general election.
It has been a long time in coming, and it's been quite a journey for me personally, and so I am in such a good place. I have had, like any other human being, my fair share of missteps in life. But you know what? No one can ever look back on my record when I was a serving member and not know that Ralston Anglin had a net positive contribution to this country.
Mr. Anglin says he felt compelled to run again because West Bay North, quote, doesn't have the representation. Mr. Anglin has served 3 terms in office previously and is a former Minister of Education. In Newlands, former Minister for Financial Services, Commerce and Environment is asking for your vote. Wayne Panton wants to, quote, restore trust and confidence in representatives in Cayman.
And we're going to bring a strong presence in relation to community development and focusing on improving the lives of every single Caymanian in our community and in the country.
While Mr. Panton is running as an independent, he is working alongside Heather Bodden and Osborne Bodden, who are running in Savannah and Boddentown East, respectively. Alvis Aku saw his 3rd nomination for Newlands this morning. Radio Cayman's Shanda Gallego caught up with him.
Well, my campaign has kicked off already, but today puts the green light on it, the stamp on it. We're in campaign mode now. So I'm going to be working very hard to talk to my constituents and get their agreement to return me as their representative.
And how was the nomination process this morning?
Very smooth, no hiccups. As always, the elections office has the stuff down to an art now.
Yeah, and you're polished in it anyway.
Yeah, and I'm pretty experienced now. This will be my 3rd term, going into a 3rd term. So I've been through this process twice before. for.
Got it. And who are your nominators this morning?
Aaliyah and my daughter Janelle. Aaliyah is Richard Christian's daughter, Aaliyah Christian. She wanted to nominate me. She's a young voter in Newlands. Her be a first time voting. So she wanted to put her stamp on me as well and say this is who I'm standing behind, which is I'm humbled by that.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate it.
Roy Del Carter and Raul Gonzalez Jr. are also running in Newlands. In Savannah, longtime Representative Anthony Eden will not be rerunning for his seat, and Heather Bodden is hoping she'll snag his spot in the election.
It's a journey that I've been on more than once, but I'm ready for it. Community is my big deal. That's the heart and soul of my being, and it's something that I always have been doing in my community for the last 30 years. I have grown up, I've lived in Newlands and Savannah all my life, so, charity starts at home.
Ms. Bodden is an independent candidate. She will be running against Mr. Anthony Eden's son, Malcolm Eden, and Gina Williams.
We're going to make this happen, guys. We're going to make this happen for our people.
A rather emotional return to the political arena for Osborne Ozzie Bodden, who is asking for the public's vote in Boddentown East.
We are boasting a big economy. We are boasting $1 million condos. We are boasting all sorts of projects. Right now, you see the amount of roadworks being done. I'm not sure where all this was for the last 3 years, although we did have the pandemic. I'll give them a year grant. But there's a lot of stuff that I feel is just being now as an election gimmick.
Mr. Bodden says he hopes to provide good representation for the people of the Cayman Islands. Mr. Bodden is aiming for the seat currently held by Health Minister, the Honorable Dwayne Seymour.
It's a continuation of all the good work that I've done over the past 4 years. I was able to join the coalition, and they afforded me the opportunity to become a minister. And I'm grateful to them, and for that, I am not an ungrateful person. I'm grateful about it, and I will honor my commitment for the opportunities that they have given me to represent my country and to represent Boddentown East.
In Boddentown West, it's Chris Saunders and Vincent Frederick. Prospect candidate Michael Miles, meantime, is ready to hit the ground running.
It's really about getting out and meeting people. I've already been through Prospect once. I am now going through Prospect and meeting everyone. I want to knock on every door. I want people to have a clear understanding that we have to move politics forward, and we have to ensure that our people are priority. Therefore, I'm setting the standard of this is going to be the norm going forward, that I will knock on every single door, that I will speak to every possible person, but also to sell a different way of doing things.
Mr. Miles is running as an independent candidate. Incumbent Austin Harris will be running in Prospect again as well, as is political newcomer Sabrina Turner. For East End, we're looking at Arden McLean, Isaac Rankin, and McCleary Frederick. And in Northside, incumbent Ezra Miller, Justin Ebanks, Johanny J. Ebanks, and Deborah Broderick. In Cayman Brac East, Minister Juliana O'Connor Conley and Elvis McKeever. In Cayman Brac West and Little Cayman, the Honorable Moses Kirkconnell and Maxine McCoy Moore. One of the unsung heroes of the day, the returning officers.
I just love it. And, I try to help out civically.
One of the most experienced and knowledgeable of those returning officers is Delano Solomon. I asked him what it's like to be part of the process on nomination day.
We see people that are saying they're going to run this, they're going to do this, and sometimes they don't. And we get new people coming out. Surprises, you never know.
The voice of experience. That is your latest local news from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.